A migraine can be very painful, even debilitating for some. But I met up with one professor and found that her new research could shed some light on tackling a migraine before it starts. Tasha Bates loves to cook.
Food doesn't have to be hard, but it does have to be tasty.
But sometimes it's hard to find time to cook with school and 3 jobs.
I've got a busy life right now. It's about to ease up, but it's kind of chaotic.
But what often stops Tasha from cooking and working is what she got from her father.
My time was chewed up on a migraine. If I lean over, all of a sudden it just pounds, especially on the back of my neck and right here, and it's just this pounding. When they're really bad, I just can't focus and I start crying, which is embarrassing.
Migraines can come from a mixture of environmental and genetic factors, but 2/3 of cases run in the family, mostly in women.
Yeah, there's different types of migraines, and they're more severe for some people than they are for others.
Professor Emily Bates also suffers from hereditary migraines, which she says motivated her to find out how it runs in families.
Even the flicker of fluorescent lights could trigger a migraine for me, which was terribly embarrassing as a 3rd grader. To go to school and be the girl that throws up in the middle of the class.
Bates met up with a team of researchers at UC San Francisco's medical school to tackle this pain in the head. They tested 2 families with dominantly inherited migraines and found that they had a gene mutation associated with sleep disorders.
And so Louis' group found a mutation that affected both sleep and maybe migraines. So when I joined his lab, I went to figure out if this mutation also caused migraines.
Bates took that research and tested it on mice with the same gene mutation.
So we did this with a lot of different mice at a lot of different doses of the migraine trigger, and found that the mice that had the mutation were more sensitive than the mice that didn't have the mutation. Both the human genetics and then the mouse data led to the same conclusion that this mutation was responsible for being more susceptible to migraines.
Although this mutation shed light on the topic, Bates says it's only scratched the surface.
Casein kinase 1 delta, the gene that we found, is really important for a lot of things, and so it turns out it's not a good drug target itself. We can't knock out its function, but what we can do is use it as a handle to find what it affects, and maybe one of the things that it affects can be a good drug target.
There's no cure for migraines yet, and while this research is just the first step in discovering the genes behind a migraine, Bates says pay attention to common migraine triggers to prevent it from coming on.